Hello. My name is Eddie.
Hello, and I'm Omari.
And we are the two voices of the week.
Start Natives, our culture
Unfiltered, discussing the way of this world and the next. Two voices.
Two voices.
Queer.
Queer.
Candid.
Candid.
Discussing the way of this world and the next.
Discussing the ways of this world and the next. Discussing the ways of this world
Candid.
and the next.
Discussing the way of this world and the next.
Discussing the ways of this world and the next.
Okay, a friend of mine, he had a ball one time, and this was actually one of the trophies for best face. I, surprisingly as it is, I did not win best face, but I did take this trophy home that night.
If you didn't win, were you fighting or something? Oh, you stole
Sticky
fingers.
sticky fingers, the sticky bandits. And so yeah, I ended up taking this home. It was a crazy night. It was a lot going on that night. But so this sculpture was actually created by an artist named Lydia B.
Sorry.
It's Lydia B or Linda B, but she's like from the 80s. And she did a bunch of these. Like a lot of them kind of resemble like Grace Jones, and it just has like a very, structural style. Yeah. So it was cool. I don't know where he got it from, but it was one of the trophies for, yeah. So I'm pretty sure he'll see this video. He'll be like, bitch.
And so not only that, but as you can see, we do not have wine.
We don't have wine.
So because somebody forgot to remind somebody that, hey, we don't have no more 3 wines. We need to get 3 more wines bottles. And
that sounds nice in theory, but if you are a wine connoisseur, I shouldn't have to remind you of wine.
But you should have told me that, hey, we need to buy, we need to stock up again. Okay?
I hadn't slept.
No, do not bring the slept situation, okay?
I mean, hey, look, I made a choice.
A bad one.
And speaking of choices, segue, I saw this post. Apparently the post was posted on Reddit. It made its way to Twitter.
Like always.
Essentially the post, which I don't know if it was real or if it was a journal entry, if it was soapy fiction, but it was about a dad who's gay and him basically resenting his son for his son recently coming out, and him kind of being mad at his son, understanding that his son didn't do anything wrong.
Just in case if you need it.
Oh, okay. Understanding that his son didn't do anything wrong, but just kind of envying him that he gets to be out and be who he is while he's kind of stuck being married.
Yeah, and being straight.
And somewhere in the letter he talked about
that he's just fulfilling his purpose.
And it sounded like,
and then once he's done with that purpose, then that's it.
He may just
because if we really read, I'm only reading the last part.
Excerpt.
So he kind of goes into my life's purpose is almost complete. Then he goes a little bit forward. He says, I can die peacefully and end my long, long suffering at last. I know I have raised my boys well and they can take care of themselves and their mom.
Yeah. So that. Now.
And that right there, when Omari sent it to me, that right there, I'm like, ooh, it sounds like somebody might just cut the line.
Yeah, it sounds like he's ready to let go. It's weird because I read it and I read it and then I read the comments and I read the replies and
nobody was giving no sense of
everybody was just overcome with emotion.
Yeah,
but everyone was like, "Oh, this is so sad. This is so true. This happens. Here are people who really feel like this." Nobody really had any kind of solution. Nobody really offered any. Not even a website or a hotline or nothing.
Yeah, to be able to find some type of help, because that's the thing. It's the guy, in a sense, it's crying for help. And nobody is offering any sense of help. And it's because I also read the comments. It's I read the story and everything. And one thing, I try not to read the comments on this one. I normally do. But I try not to because I knew that they just useless people. People were just giving shit, but they were saying shit that didn't had any substance to that. Didn't have something where it's shit, I can use this and be able to help me move forward and not really end my life the way I feel like I might have to end it. Because you feel that that's your purpose, but the thing is, your purpose is more than that.
Yeah. It can be.
Yeah.
If you want it to be. That's the thing. So, like, well, the thing about that post, so it was on Twitter. Mm-hmm. The person who posted is not the person who wrote it.
True.
And also me knowing that the internet can be a lot of bullshit sometimes. I don't know if it's real.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how, even like if people like put hotlines and all that stuff. But I think the hotlines in any of the websites and any of the like the resources that could help somebody in that kind of situation, while it may not have directly helped that person because this is a whole
but it could have helped somebody else.
Somebody else who was feeling that way.
Yeah, that would have like seen the post and felt the same way and everything, and they might need some help, and nobody gave any solutions to how to proceed with this.
Now, with that being said, you will not notice a phone number, a website, or anything, you know,
on us here.
On this screen here.
Yeah.
Hey, if perhaps we'll put it in the description.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Even though, if you do want somebody, the only person that I'm able to recommend will be from the talk show that
Red Table Talk?
No. Tamika's.
Oh.
My friend. It's Intake. Yes. Intake. That will be the only because I trust them and everything, and I know a little bit of them and what they're doing and everything, and it's all about mental health.
Yeah.
Not only that, but these three women do have a background. They have have studied, and they have credentials and things like that. So I know them personally. Well, I know only one personally. Yeah. So because of that, and because of my friend, that will be the only people that I might be able to recommend
for like immediate, I guess, help or advice.
Yeah.
I don't know the episode or anything like that, but it's called Intake.
Yeah, Intake. I might be able to put it on the description, maybe a link or something. Just go down there.
The thing with so when I read it, I thought, is this real? What's the solution? And also, so what now?
Yeah.
Because I do not believe in attending pity parties. I understand getting sad. I understand being down. I understand needing moments to yourself.
Yeah.
But something bothers me about like
the post or the way that it was written.
No, like a group of people kind of just getting together and being sad with nobody looking for a way to
have a solution,
heal.
Okay.
Toward healing. Yes, people do go through stuff like this. People feel this way. Cool. The first thing I thought was therapy.
True.
Or you need to talk to somebody who can help you, because I don't think it's sad when anybody wants to end their life. That I don't like that. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is that people are accustomed to having like a petty party.
Yeah, the pity party with deflated balloons.
Yeah, and being, I'm so sorry for your loss, or I'm so sorry that this is happening, and there's no way of working the situation.
Yeah.
There's no. They just talking just to talk.
Because after a while it becomes so generic. Yeah, it's almost like a script.
They're doing because they're always into like, we need to be like this because this is how we have always been.
I should say sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
I should say.
And it's like, no.
Oh. You know, like. And I hate it because it kind of made me feel cold. But I don't think it's me being cold. I think it's just me wanting to help more. Wanting to help more than that. Because I don't think that's helping. I understand it's giving a person, letting them know you care, but then it's almost like, are you letting them know you care? Or are you letting them know that you can say things that sound like you care?
Yeah. I see life in a sense of like, there is a beginning, a middle, and an end. At some point in life, I'm going to have loss in my life. At some point in life, I'm not going to have certain people around me. Maybe because of differences, maybe because of death, passing, of growing apart, things situational, life situations, and I cannot be just stuck for forever. Yes, I do believe that sometimes there's gonna be a point in life where you have to process this situation, whatever is going on in your life, and that you might feel like this is the end and everything. But I need to move forward.
Yeah.
I need to look to more. I need to reinvent my life now because this has happened, or because this is not like this.
Right.
Like with this gentleman, yeah, you know, he has kids and he made the choices that he made, and he is in the circumstance that he is right now. But I feel that that is not the end. I feel that if you want to be, your purpose is for you to be able to be free and to be able to love yourself for the person that you are. You are. And the thing is that he's not accomplishing that. He has not done that. So his purpose is more than just taking care of his children. His purpose is more than just making sure that his children go beyond college and be able to provide for his wife,
right.
You know, their mom.
Right.
His purpose is more than that, because purpose in essence is about you. You as a human being, you as a person. You as a person, there's a purpose for you.
You think your purpose is supposed to be like this overarching thing or something that you just be able to put your finger on and be like, you're supposed to do this.
Yeah.
You're supposed
or
to
like
cure
something
cancer.
dramatic.
If you ain't curing cancer, what's your purpose?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it ain't gotta be that. Like, sometimes your purpose is out of your hands. Like, truthfully, it is. You know, and sometimes I think people look too deep into it. And him, like the guy saying that he wanted to end it all or whatever, and it's like you have a decision. Like, you have decisions to make, and it's weird that the decision you want to make is the one to end it, when the decision could be to end the relationship. It could be to be who you are. And it kind of makes you think about like Frank Ocean. So when Frank Ocean came out with his first album, Channel Orange, and he released that, you know, that letter basically telling everybody, he didn't say he was gay, but he said that he fell in love with a man like one summer or something, and that a lot of the songs that you were going to hear on the album were essentially about his love for that man. That I don't even think he was like with him anymore at the time, but he basically revealed that he has an attraction to men, you know, as well, because prior to that time, all his music on the surface was about women, you know.
But I don't think they were.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, even though it may have been, but there was some,
maybe, yeah, but
so but I think even stuff like that, like he made a choice to live and be who he is, and whatever that meant for his career. You know, at that time, even though at that time Frank Ocean was the shit. And he still is, but he's you know, navigated his career in a certain way, and it gives him a little bit of a mystique.
Yeah.
But he made a decision, and like to that guy who wrote that letter, and he's like envious of his son because his son is out and living. It's like, you know, you can do that too. Yeah. I know it's scary to do that. I know that's a different kind of choice, because now you're not only affecting your life, you're affecting your wife's life, your kids' life, and to be made out to be like this liar. Essentially, like you've been living a lie and having to deal with that. I understand the fear behind it, but I don't think it's crazy that like fear will prevent you from being who you are, but fear can also lead you to do something so drastic to yourself, or say you want to, because perhaps he doesn't actually want to do that. Perhaps he does want help, and this is the way to get it. So I don't know. Choices. And it just made me think about, like, you have choices. We all have choices. Life is about choices.
We have choices, and we do have choices. And I understand that sometimes these choices do come with consequences, and that sometimes these choices might prevent us from moving forward or moving certain areas and going through different things. But then we have to be careful on what are we choosing. Are these choices that we are making, are beneficial to me? Are they beneficial to my well-being? And then you might come at me and be like, but Eddie, that's a little bit selfish. Well, when it becomes about you and when it becomes about your life, honey, you have to be selfish.
Honey.
Okay? Like, no sé cómo quieres que te lo diga. Like, you have to be selfish. Like,
ditto.
Ditto. Because when you think about you and when you love yourself, when you respect yourself, and when you treat yourself with the respect that you deserve, and put yourself at a standard that you really supposed to put yourself into, then the choices that you make are going to be very strategic and very looked at. And then you'll be like, is this actually for me? Is this actually something that I need? Is this fulfills the purpose that I have to be? Do this serve something greater than just me? Is this something that brings me peace? Do I feel peaceful of my own choice? Those are the things that you need to be asking. Those are the things that you need to look into, because you always need to look into the root of the problem be able to take it out of the situation, take it out of the garden, take it out of the area. So in that way it looks pretty, because you really have to, like, you need to look into those situations. And it doesn't matter if you believe in God, or you believe in Allah, or you believe in whoever, or you are Hindu, or you are spiritual, or you like anything. When you're going through these things, when you're going through these practices, these religions, these faiths and everything, they always look into what is the root of the problem. You know, what is it that is damaging the situation, and how can we move forward? When we talk to therapists, that's part of the situation, is looking into the root of the problem. And that means having to look into your life, looking at your past situation and how we can fix this. And then we might be afraid that if we make this choice, if I decide that from now on I have to live my true life and live it by my truth and everything, that might bring situation with my mom. And you feel that now my mom doesn't like me, or now I'm hurting my mom because of this choice I'm making. Or now my wife, now she is like, her life is destroyed now. It's like, now I'm living a lie, or my husband's living a lie.
And that's the thing too. Sometimes people like their, there's an illusion
that
to
illusion,
life that people enjoy. Sometimes you like the illusion, and nobody wants their illusion broken, especially if it makes you happy.
Correct. But sometimes you really need to break that illusion, so in that way you can move forward. And again, it's gonna sound selfish, and it might be a little bit selfish, but you cannot depend your life, your purpose, and the way that you are. You cannot depend your happiness because of how your mom, your wife, your husband, your kids, your grandma, whoever it feels. Because at the end of the day, that is their issue. That's your problem. If they cannot be happy with their life, then I'm sorry, that's you. You have some issues to work with, because I'm working on mine.
There's a show. And in the show, a character writes a book. In the book, she kind of like gives away life, like secrets in her family. She kind of tells things that her family members would not otherwise disclose to anybody outside of their family.
I think we have talked about this.
But it makes me think about that. Like, sometimes, unfortunately, what she did was she didn't ask anybody if she can include their stories in her book. So I'm not big on that, because I don't think it's your place to tell someone else's story. But one thing that happened, there was a discomfort. Everybody was mad at her. They were pissed at her because of what she did. And people read the book, and everybody knew who it was about. As much as she thought she was like cloaking their identity, it's like, girl,
but she didn't.
Everybody know who you are. They know your family. They know the stories about them. But one thing, after like the initial reaction of betrayal, the initial like feeling of betrayal, slowly each and every one of those family members had to come to terms with and accept and heal past a lot of the things that she put in the book. And truthfully, in hindsight, what she did helped everybody, because it helped them be more honest with themselves, and it helped them, treat themselves better, and to kind of confront their past and be able to say, you know what, I actually am over that. I actually have moved past that. But the way she went about it was just, it was
the wrong way. And now that was really selfish. She made a choice. Yeah. She made a choice, but she didn't look into that choice and what were the repercussions that were gonna cause. You know, what were the situations and the avalanche and all the destruction that was gonna bring.
And she did it under the guise of, you know, I want to share our stories because there are people who are going through stuff like this and they need help. Yeah. But she was very selfish.
Yeah, she was very selfish. Because the thing is, when you're going to do things like that, you have to do it in a sense that you're doing it for yourself and more about yourself. Like you need to bring up your own story into the situation.
And she did, but it didn't touch everybody else's. That's the thing.
But that's the thing. It's like if you're going to bring somebody else's life into the perspective, then you have to talk to that person and make sure that person is okay. It's kind of like what we have said before in our podcast episodes, where if our story, we are talking about our stories, our experiences, and our situations, and what we believe we did and did wrong, did right, or whatever, and what is our opinion in certain situations. But it's because it's about us. If we bring somebody else, we'll try to bring that person that only interacts with our story and that it's still about our story, not about theirs.
And try to retain some type of,
some type
anonymity.
And respectfulness. Because the thing is, we didn't ask them.
Right.
For you.
It isn't like bashing you. Yeah. And sometimes you have to, but I think that's the thing sometimes with like creators, we have to understand that when we do stuff like that, because when she was confronted, the character, when she was confronted by one of her family members, and she told her, she was like, yeah, I know I should have come to you and asked you and talked to you about it first. And she said, well, what if I would have said no? What then?
Then I would have found somebody.
Not even. Because the thing is, her point was, you always make decisions that are in your best interest. You were going to do what you wanted to do, whether you brought it to me or not.
True.
You were going to find a way to do it because she has a pattern of doing that. Yeah. So even with her doing that and her exposing everybody else, she still had to look at herself and see how she has done this
pattern
continuously. Yeah. And it's like, I think all of us have like patterns,
well, we do
personality patterns and things that we do. Like, I know I do. I be fucking up sometimes.
I always believe that humans are creatures and creatures are creatures of habits, and humans are that. So
actual.
Yeah. But
is it time to go?
Yeah, kind of. Okay. My name is Eddie.
And I'm Omari.
And we are the two voices of the week.
Start natives.
Our culture unfiltered. Discussing the way of this world and the next.
And do not forget to, hold on, wait. Tell them.
Tony, can you talk to them?
Tell them.
What were the list? Oh, you see that? Oh, and that too, right? Okay. See?
All right.
Just do whatever he said.
All right. Well, I'm Omari.
And I'm Eddie.
And we are the two voices of the week.
And we see you next week.
Tony.